This is just a perspective to feel better now if you don't feel good. It's something that I'm using when I'm depressed about my life or things are not going the way I want. I just feel bad for sometimes for no reason. I don't feel good and I don't even know why. And the perspective is that you're still in the game and that the whole life that you take so seriously, that I take so seriously, is actually just like a game. You could die tomorrow, you could suffer a lot, but you're still here. So it means that if you just erase from your memory everything that you have gone through before, you could, and even if you don't do that, you could still completely change your life right now. You could just I don't know, whatever bothers you, you could really take extreme actions in order to do it. So I also like the perspective that life is a dream and that we can actually control it more, so that it's just like a dream and we're all in that dream, and there's just and let's say that it's like, this is maybe a little bit more complicated, but everyone is you. It's kind of the same thing than in the spiritual perspective that everything is one. It's a little bit the same. Like, we live in a dream where everyone is actually the same essence, which is the dreamer. And the dreamer is actually you, and this body right here, this is just your avatar. And everyone else is just someone, let's say, a reflection of your subconscious mind, of the subconscious mind of the dreamer. Kind of what actually happens when you're really dreaming, right? Like in our reality. So this is also a perspective that I find super useful, because there's so many implications that make things better. And when you think about it, we don't know shit about our reality. We don't know if it's an absolute reality, or if it's like a simulation in a computer, or if it's a dream. We don't know. So what we can actually do is only speculate about what it is. But what I actually find useful is, I don't, it's the thing, like, I don't care if perspective on life is realistic or not. I don't think we can prove any perspective to be wrong or right most of the time. But some perspective just make you feel better. So if you think of life as a dream or a game, and you're here and you're just an avatar having fun, then when you're really in a depressed state, it actually makes you feel better. For me, that's a technique I use, and I'm like, hey, I can actually do whatever the fuck I want. I can go out of my house and just go talk to these dream characters and try to see if we have something in common, or like it kind of removes some barriers that we have in our mind. Because the thing is, we think that this is like an absolute rigid cold reality, and we make many assumptions about this reality, and we don't question those assumptions. Like, for example, I assume, for example, that a lot of people are not like me and that they're not interesting. And I know that this is just a belief, this is not true, but it just runs in the background of my mind, and I never question it, but it has a big impact on my life. And when I try to change this perspective, that maybe this is a dream and not like a rigid cold reality on which I have no control whatsoever, rather other control than just with my hands or acting. Because I also think that we have a control over this reality with our thoughts. So this is kind of a cue, like when you start having more positive thoughts, you realize that life reflects reflects them in a more positive way. But I think that it depends on the belief you have. If you believe this, then obviously you're gonna look for the things in your reality that will prove that, and you will see them. And if you believe the contrary, that your thoughts have no like no impact on your life, then you will see the proof that they have no impact. So it's not about like being right or wrong or whatever. It's just being about it's just about like choosing a perspective that makes you feel better. So this is the one that you can try to choose, um, and try to see like how your emotional state changes, and how your action actually would change if you were actually in a dream or if this was a game. And I think that a lot of people who are already feeling good in their lives, they kind of don't like that. And I understand why, because it's a little bit threatening to um, like a vision of the world that you have. But it's not the case for me, because um, my life has always actually been so challenging that I didn't give a damn about like what this world actually is. I just wanted to feel better because it was so hard. So maybe that comes like that's why I like those playing around with these perspectives, because I really feel they enhance my life. But maybe it can like help you if you feel bad. Just think you're still breathing and you still can change everything in your life in a matter of seconds, like doing a call and say and telling someone to fuck off, and then you get rid like of so many people in your life. That's amazing. We are scared to do this, but in a matter of just like 1 minute, you could completely change your life. Just like this is an example, but yeah, I hope it helps you. Thanks for listening.